Good morning, everybody. This is Rudy coming at you live from Palm Beach in Florida. I'm joined by a special guest, Tom Land. Hello, Tom.
Hi, Rudy.
We've spoken before. This is Tom is the CEO of Myriad Uranium, and there's been some exciting developments over the past few months or so, including a coup in Niger, which we can speak about briefly, but more importantly, some new developments from your side. So let me put a little bit of talking points on the screen. And then I'm going to sort of hand the floor and the microphone over to Tom so he can kind of walk us through what's happening at Myriad Uranium. So just a quick disclaimer is it's not a paid promotion. It's not an investment recommendation. But let's hear what Tom has to say about Myriad Uranium. So this is what's new, Tom. So give us the sort of the 50,000-foot flyover before we get into the details.
Sure. We have a new project. When we signed the letter of intent in the summer to acquire it, we were optimistic about it, but we didn't know a lot, and neither did the vendor. We have an earnable 75% interest now in this project. It's the Copper Mountain Uranium Project in Wyoming, right in the center of Wyoming. We're very happy to be able to tell you that it has seen a huge amount of work. We've discovered this over the past few months. About 74 million US dollars were spent, that's today's dollars, spent in the 1970s advancing this project. That money was spent by Union Pacific Railway, a subsidiary of it. That's 2,000 drill holes, a whole pile of related work, a mine plan. They built a leach pad. It's an advanced project, very exciting, millions and millions of pounds of uranium in the ground, which we'll get into. And then, unfortunately, there was the 3 Mile Island accident in 1979, which put a halt to really the uranium sector in the United States. But this project was just about to produce uranium. So I look forward to telling you all about it.
Thank you. So I think what we can do, just sort of for the benefit of the audience members who are new to Myriad Uranium, I don't necessarily want us to go through these talking points sort of in bullet style, but what's always great for us to do is to just get an overview from the CEO. Who is Myriad Uranium? What are you all about? And sort of what's the backstory to the actual organization and the corporation?
Yeah, I became CEO a year ago. The company was put together by my friend and colleague, Pete Smith, previous CEO. So we started out with a Niger, West Africa projects. These are phenomenal uranium exploration projects in the Timor Basin, Niger. Our projects there are up against, like, immediately adjacent to Africa's largest uranium deposit and on the same structure, and also adjacent to Global Atomic's DASA deposit. That's Africa's best uranium deposit. So we were looking very, very good. There was a coup in July. And while things had to be paused in Niger for a little while, we decided to pivot. And then we've really just done extremely well with our pivot to Wyoming. So I'll get into that in a moment. We're listed on the CSE, symbol is M. OTC symbol you see there in the bullets, MYRUF, MYRUF, and the Frankfurt also. So we have 29.5, well, a little less than that, 29 point something million shares outstanding. It's a very tight structure. Insiders and our close group insiders you'll see on Yahoo own almost 40% of the company. We've all put in lots of real money into this company ourselves, so no cheap stock. The structure is excellent. Oh, there I see you have 46 held by insiders, exactly. So the share structure is really, really solid. We have wonderful projects in Niger, in West Africa. That will resolve itself. And then now we have an earnable 75% interest in the Copper Mountain project in Wyoming. Yeah, as I've alluded to, it turned out to be just a fantastic project. It's going to be a real company maker for us.
Yeah. So Tom, walk us through that deal and sort of help us understand the requirements from Myriad in terms of capital investment, cash, stock, etc., and sort of the we could look at the game plan going forward in a minute, but let's talk a little bit about this deal, because it seems to be a very lucrative and a great deal also from a timing point of view. So maybe give us a little bit of an overview on the actual deal itself.
Yeah, it's perfect for, in fact, the good thing is it's a win-win for both sides. The other company is called Rush Rare Metals. I encourage your viewers to take a look at that company. It's both companies, Myriad and Rush, are going to do very well out of this. And that's a really interesting company, by the way, Rush Rare Metals. So here's the deal. We can earn up to 75%. To do that, we have to spend $1.5 million on the property within 2 years, and $4 million, an additional $4 million within 4 years of the start date, which is just passed. So if we do that, along with paying an upfront payment, you see there, of 130,000 Canadian dollars, which we've made the first 100. In a month or two, we'll pay the next chunk of money. If we do that, plus actually there's some additional share payments. We made an initial share payment of about 560,000 Myriad shares to Rush Rare Metals. We do that, plus a $150,000 share payment year one, and a $250,000 share payment year two. If we do that, we can earn all the way up to 75% of this project. Now, there's a big kicker. So these upfront, in this climate, with this uranium market, you and your viewers are familiar with, which is getting hot, and was hot and getting hotter. This is a fantastic upfront deal for Myriad. We get into this past producing asset. It produced 500,000 pounds of uranium in the 50s and 60s. Big uranium endowment. We get in upfront with low upfront costs. Then the kicker for Rush is that the first 50 million of net proceeds are split 50-50 once we start producing. So that's a nice back end for Rush. But hopefully this is a big project, and you know what, everybody does extremely well out of this.
Thank you, Tom. Just for the benefit of the viewers, the information that we're sharing as a backdrop here is available from Myriad Uranium's website. I'll add a link to that in the comments so that you can download this. You see right at the bottom of the screen, it says for more details, here our October 2023 news release. So you can pull this information off the web. And of course, if you have any questions, you can reach out to Tom directly, because his information is on there. So let's talk a little bit about the game plan, Tom, because you're talking about a $50 million future production target or objective, and it's going to be split between Rush and Myriad. So what does that look like from a timeline point of view? And then the other thing that I'd like you to touch on briefly is sort of the cash burn in terms of how much cash is in the bank, and what is your current burn rate from on a monthly basis, if you want to talk to that for us briefly.
We currently have around $300,000 in the bank. That's a low balance, but because the market is strong, we'll be able to raise money in the near future. It's not going to be we're not stressed, and our burn, we keep it very low. So usually between $40,000 and $50,000 a month. That includes everything. Management, we are mostly incentivized with stock options, etc. So that's our base burn. And then as we raise more money, we can do a lot of exciting things. This deal is really about torque and the leverage that we're going to get here. So there's been a news release since that one that you mentioned there, that goes through the fact that we have discovered that our license areas have a big endowment of uranium. Rocky Mountain Energy, this is Union Pacific subsidiary, again, spent $74 million on our project, drilling 2,000 drill holes, planning a mine, building a leach pad, etc. before all that was interrupted. They had seen, or they estimated, that our project area, discrete parts of the area, different combinations of deposits within our area, you have to look at the news release to see the details, holds, and this is a resource estimate, of between 15 and 30 million pounds, according to their calculations based on what they drilled. 15 and 30 million pounds of uranium. These are historical resource estimates, not brought up current yet. And then on top of that, they estimated that 2 out of the 5 uranium deposits that they knew about at the time, now we think there are 6 or more, 2 of the 5 have the potential to host, their resource potential is 63.8 million pounds of uranium. If you do the math times, say, an $80 spot price, that's 2 of the 5 uranium deposits, 63.8 million pounds times 80. The top line amount of uranium on our project, in our project area, is in the billions and billions of dollars worth. Of course, you're going to have to subtract costs, but this is the exciting potential in our area and the licenses we hold. So what is the game plan? We're going to raise more money. That's coming. We have lots of interest from banks and strategics and significant groups. And then we're going to work to bring our historic resource estimates current. So we have current 43-101, which is the strict Canadian rules regarding these things. Bring that current, so we have a current resource estimate. We have their formal resource estimate. So we need more data, which we're in the process of acquiring. That will enable us to bring our resource current. This is not a particularly expensive exercise, as long as we get lots of data. So you can do this for $100,000, $200,000 potentially. That's why we only have 29 million shares outstanding, very tight share structure and a low burn. We like to be very lean, and that's why, unlike a lot of these other explorers that have 2 or 3 times the number of shares we have outstanding, we have a small number, tightly held, big insider ownership. And you'll see, we don't sell shares, we buy. And so that's why we're going step by step. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the capital structure. So you mentioned it a couple of times as we were chatting, and I just dropped an overlay screenshot here of the shares outstanding and issued around, let's call it 30 million. And then you have options, 3.8 million, and you already mentioned that from a management point of view, you're incentivized through stock.
That's right.
I'm assuming that most of these options, the 3.8 million, are stock options or similar type of equity awards given to the management team or offered.
Exactly. That is me.
Okay.
Our board of directors, CFO, key consultants, technical advisors. We have some of the leading authorities on in situ recovery. For example, the former chief operating officer of Global Atomic is on our technical advisory board, etc. We have a very strong team, and we incentivize everybody with options. And the warrants too, a lot of insiders like myself, we've subscribed for a lot of these in these private placements. So we actually own a significant percentage of these warrants too. These are insiders, hold a lot of them. So
Tom, if we use the sort of the stock option example as a benchmark, the time to vesting on these stock options and the price of the options, where are they priced?
So the price, there was the coup in Niger, and by the way, it says your screenshot there has our price at 15.5 cents. Oh, that's on the OTC, so that's accurate. Yeah, I got you.
US, yeah.
Yeah. So Canadian. We've done our financings at 25 cents and 30 cents over the past year, and that's Canadian. So what is that? That's 18 cents US and 23 cents US, something like that.
Yeah.
And so the options are priced as high as 39 cents, the stock options, and warrant, and most of the options are in the at around 31 cents. And the 39-cent option, this is Canadian. And there are some lower price stock options, some at 20 cents. And the warrants are generally 30 and 40 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, the warrants.
So the reason why I kind of posed the question that way is because it's interesting for the viewers to note that they actually have an opportunity of potentially investing in Myriad Uranium right now at a price that's either not dissimilar to or even below the strike price of the stock options. on a go-forward basis. So off the top of my head, I don't know what the exchange rate is today, but it's probably about 25 cents Canadian or so, if it's 15 or 23 or 24 cents Canadian, if it's 15 cents US, approximately.
That's right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
effectively, the current price that's available for potential investors is sort of there or thereabouts. On the screen grab that I took here, you can also see, for the viewer's benefit, at the bottom left, the 52-week range shows you a range of 5 cents to 33 cents. So we kind of nicely positioned right now, just left of center in that 52-week range. But in terms of people wanting to invest in the company, there's a wealth of information available on your website, and there are also quite a number of videos available on your website. I've actually watched a few just prior to this interview, seeing Tom Lamb and Tom Lamb and Tom Lamb again.
Yeah, I know.
You're becoming a uranium superstar here. But yeah, there is a wealth of information available, and as I said, I'll put the links to Myriad Uranium on the details and notes beneath the video once I post it. So Tom, from my side, this is obviously a quick flyover, but if there's anything that you'd like to add, then now's a good time. Otherwise, we can wrap.
Great. I'll leave you with your viewers with one thought, which is we were knocked down by the coup in the summer. So that took us quite a ways down in the share price. We've since done this deal, and it's turned out much better than we imagined, this Wyoming Copper Mountain uranium deal. The world is just about to find out about it. So yes, we've seen some videos there, but we have not yet begun to really tell the world about it. It's in the best jurisdiction in the world, Wyoming, and we have millions of pounds in the ground that separates us from all the explorers who are just merely poking around looking for uranium. We've got it. And so, fasten your seatbelts. So this is going to be quite interesting for Myriad investors looking ahead.
Best of success and good luck, Tom. It'll be great to see where you go from here. And congratulations on the deal. Well done.
Thank you.
It's good to talk to you. And thank you for your time.
As always, all the best to you. Yeah.
Take care. Bye-bye.